What's up everyone? It's Monday, August 9th, and by now I think a lot of you have played Astro Bot. And it came out last Friday. I beat it over the weekend, which is surprisingly something that I haven't done in a very long time. But I wanted to make this video today to talk about Astro Bot and what I liked about it and what I didn't, and what I think about the game overall. In short, I think it's a masterpiece and it's a really great game, and I definitely think it should be at least a contender for Game of the Year. But let's go ahead and talk about it. So the first few things I kind of wanted to mention were, first off, the performance. This game runs extremely well on PS5 and I was pleasantly surprised. But Team Asobi did a really good job here. They also took full advantage of the DualSense controller. Anytime you're sort of walking or jumping or smashing things, the DualSense haptic feedback is doing its thing, and it's really impressive. And I truly wish that more developers would take advantage of this feature because it really adds more immersion to the experience, I think. So I really like that, and the game's soundtrack is also very good. I really enjoyed listening to the soundtrack while I was playing this game. And sometimes when I play games, I kind of have like a podcast in the background as I'm playing, and this wasn't the case here. I wanted to listen to the music and just be immersed in the world, and they just did a really great job here as well. I did want to talk about the gameplay a little bit too, because this game is like so polished, and you can tell as you're playing that they put a lot of care into the level design and the character design and all the abilities that you can use. As you go to different planets in this game, you get to use different abilities with your Astro Bot, and a lot of them are really clever and very fun to use, and you can tell that they had a lot of fun developing this game. And it's just super interesting to me because I really wasn't expecting this game. I grew up with 3D platformers, Spyro and Mario and Banjo-Kazooie, and I remember really liking those games, and I still do, but I don't play them as often anymore. I think the last one that I played was Mario Odyssey, and that must have been in 2018 or something like that, so it's been about 6 years since I played one of these games. But I really wasn't expecting to love Astro Bot as much as I do. This game really came out of nowhere for me, and I feel like this doesn't happen too often, so I'm very pleased with the experience that I've had. The boss battles in this game are also really fun. They usually come at the end of each major section of the game, but they make you use the features or the game mechanics that you've been using during that brief period of time. And the boss battles are just really cool. I really love them. Some of them are quite tough, but with a few tries, you can get through them. But I just can't get over the charm in the design of the game, with the enemies and the boss battles and the soundtrack, the world design. Everything just seems so carefully crafted and polished, and this is not something that you see every day. So I really recommend playing Astro Bot just for this, so that you can experience what a tight 12 to 20 hour experience, because that's what I completed it at, was 12 hours. But I want to go for completion, which is not something that I do too often, and I think that once I'm done with that, I'll end up at about the 18-hour mark, which is a fantastic length for a game. I'm also really glad that Astro Bot by Team Asobi here is just focused on being a game, and it doesn't push anything as far as microtransactions and live service features. It's just what it is, and once you're done with it, you're done. If you want to replay it, you can, but I think we need more things like this, and I hope the success of Astro Bot, the critical success of Astro Bot, can send a clear message to Sony and other companies around the world that not everything needs to be a live service, and you can still have success with these 12 to 20 hour highly polished experiences that everybody apparently loves. So we should get more of this, because it's also quicker to make. We don't have to wait 8 years, like for example with Concord, that came out maybe 2 weeks ago, and the servers were brought offline the same day that Astro Bot came out. But that was 8 years of development with hundreds of millions of dollars and no success compared to what Astro Bot is going to do. And I hope I just hope that sends a clear message that not everything needs to be this way, and we can go back to having experiences like this that are shorter, more polished, and just more focused on being a single player game or multiplayer, but primarily single player, shorter experiences. I did want to mention a couple of things that I didn't really like about the game. Even though I think it is a masterpiece and a clear contender for Game of the Year, there were two small things here that I didn't really vibe with that much. And the first one being the motion controls. They're fine, but at certain points they do get quite annoying and they feel unnecessary. Like they kind of got in the way of my enjoyment of the game at times. But that's probably just, personal preference. I'm not really too big of a fan of motion or gyro controls, so that's just one thing that I wanted to point out. And also, some of the levels are clearly better than others. I clearly enjoyed some better than others. There's just two levels in particular that I didn't really enjoy in this game, which is surprising because I loved most of them, and I really did. But there was two in particular that come sort of at the middle of the game. One is underwater and the other one is kind of like in this balloon type of environment. And those two levels I just did not enjoy. I just wanted them to be over with as quickly as possible. But apart from that, everything that I saw and experienced with Astro Bot has been phenomenal. But anyways guys, I just wanted to make a quick video because I played this game over the weekend and I finished it, and the rest of this week I'm gonna be working towards completing it 100%. But I just really love what Sony did here, and it was a nice surprise, something that I didn't expect. But I'll be for sure on the lookout for Team Asobi's next game, which is no doubt going to be Astro Bot 2. I hope they come out with more things like this in the future. I don't think that everything needs to be an 80-hour game. Not everything needs to be live service, or not everything needs to be open world. We can have things like this and they can find their success and critical success in the gaming industry. So are you planning on buying Astro Bot? Are you going to pass on it? Are you going to wait on it? I'd love to know. So comment down below, tell me what you think, and yeah guys, thanks for watching. See you soon.